small, we all are getting trained here, right? We all are getting trained to be better devotee and for us to practice. So one small suggestion is always end with Prabhupada. Any kirtan. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Let us all sing together. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Namaskarayesu Bhagavatu Divyam Bhagavati Sevayam Bhagavati Putram Loke Bhantir Bhavati Harisiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandana Nandagopa Punaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Pankajamaya, Namah Pankajamaya, Namah Pankajamaya, Namaste Pankajamaya, Namo Mahapadanya, Krishna Prema Pradhamaya, Krishna Krishna Chaitanya, Namah Gaura Krishna, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Gaura Brahmanya. Krishna Govinda Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Bhutale Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prajapine Nidhi Vishesha Sunyavati Asya Jadeshatapine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaurabhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Vito Darpanmarjanam Bhava Mahadvava Nirvana Jai Hari Vachindrika Dharanam Vidya Ruji Pratipadam Purna Swadanam Sarvatmantapanam Param Vijay Shri Krishna Kirtanam Namadhari Mahutam Sarvakati Tadrantikana Niyamita Sarane Natala Etan Sitavadeva Bhagavati Daiva Nitrisham Bhajantuva Nadi Shri Chena Sarisana Padevam Kilaya Sadari Naranam Sundari Vajradisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavata Bhattira Vaidaki Avinanda Kampira Bhattamam Shame Bhavan Bhagav Prepayadava Pada Pankaj Sadgurcha Darshan Vijay Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Shri Guru Dinakaranam Shri Paramanandamato Shri Chaitanya Ishvara Om Pavitro Pavitro Va Sarvavasti Yatsmare Kundari Kaksha Samya Abhinantaram Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Hare Krishna. It almost feels like we are meeting after a Kurukshetra battle. Some lost wickets, some surviving Kshatriyas, some still under treatment. I don't know why it happened like that. It happened across the board. And I'm hearing not only this, recently one devotee was telling me that His Holiness Rupa Swami Maharaj had taken a yatra, and even they are down. Is there? Yeah, right now he's in the yatra. So he was saying that different Maharajas, different yatras this time, many people got affected with so many problems, health problems. Whether it is water, whether it is weather, or whether it is our own machinery, rusted machinery, which is rusted in the, within the four walls of Corona. We have not gone out for a long time. Even facing sun is like facing, sun globe. I don't know. People have just fallen sick across the board. So, but I'm still very grateful to all devotees who still come. And many of you did your first parikrama. Some of them, it was the first time to Braj also. Right? First time in the form of a yatra. Many of them also had that experience. So it was wonderful lectures by His Grace Vishwarup Prabhu, almost making us feel that we are part of Radharani's family, right? The way he explained. And amazing discourses by Radhesham Prabhu, especially the last day's discourse. I just want everyone to hear again. The last day when all the three speakers spoke, it was like literally, pumping us with so much spiritual enthusiasm, so we can continue. The real yatra starts after the yatra. Right? So it was amazing, and of course the train leelas on Prashadam Leela, distribution Leela. My God, some luggage getting lost. That was another Leela. And again, Nitai Goraka coming back. Appearance, disappearance of Nitai. So many tensions, so many people took. And right after coming, so many people went into hospitals, ICUs, we didn't leave anything left. All right. And it happened to so many devotees. Actually, His Grace Prem Kirtan, one of my god brothers, he called me and he was like, "Oh, how many people at your side are sick?" That was the question he asked directly. He said, "How many people at your side are sick?" He said, "Prabhu, pata nahi, sabhi log." No, yahan par bhi sabhi log, Prabhu. It's going on across, everybody has fallen sick. And then I understood that, some devotees who were not from very well-off families, they don't have much money, to even go to yatra is a little difficult for them. But then coming back and getting into hospitals where it is like, how hospital people load, right? Ridiculous, right? So he was saying that we are also trying to raise funds for some of the devotees who are so badly sick and they're getting into hospitals. And then His Grace Radhesham Prabhu also called and asked about all of your health. He was asking, how is his family doing? Are they good? Then he was like, "Roji, what do you think has gone wrong?" So they were not doing some analysis. I think that breakfast was eaten by some people. It was not eaten by some people. But breakfast is a problem. Then immediately one devotee calls, "I also had the breakfast, I'm fine only." Right? So the analysis goes, to no end. There is no point in doing that kind of analysis. How are you going to find out? And another surprising part is elderly people who came on the yatra are all fine. All the software engineers are gone. Right? All elderly people are doing very nice. They're like, "Tumko kya problem?" It's a good thing. I'm happy to hear that elderly people are all doing good. Most of them. Maybe some of them have still had a problem. Most of them. And even during the yatra, so many people fell sick. Almost in that 5 days itself, I think 40-50% people are not even. My wife was not coming out. She was there on the first day and then on the last day. 3 days she was in the room only. It's Vrindavan in the room. So it was astonishing yatra. But my obeisances, and please forgive me if I have misbehaved any time during the yatra or was not available to you to help you in any way. I myself was studying with my own thing, everybody was going through. But hopefully we'll have one more yatra. Right? Yatras are part of our life. Rupa Goswami says it's part of our life. And part of the process of becoming more settled in spiritual life, we have to go to yatras. And we will be continuing that. Don't think that, okay, I missed this one, so I may not go to the next one. You will be. If you don't go, we'll drag you into it. Don't worry. There's no choice. We don't get a choice. And I was thinking whether or not to send the message of next yatra while everybody is in the hospital. But sarcastically I did that. I sent that. And the response is not as good for multiple reasons, because it's also the exams period for the children. But this yatra was asked by my wife especially. She said, we should go. Get out of this, and just go hear Kirtan for a long time. She was in fact like, only we both will go, nobody else. Actually, she wanted to tell only she wants to go. But because she wants somebody to book the ticket, she was like, okay, let this fellow also come. Anyway, so it is there in February. I've already booked the tickets. If one of the partners can come, especially for yatra like this during examination time, just to think about it. It's the time when all Kirtan is going on. Mayapur is filled with Kirtanias. Every nook and corner you'll see one great Kirtanier walking around. Gauravani Prabhu, Mayapuris, you name it, everybody will be there. And Kirtans will be going on from morning till night, non-stop. And you just have to be there and sit, and they'll take you to another world, provided you have receptive ears. And so my plan is also not to do any parikram during that time. Just finish the rounds in the morning, attend Mangalarti, finish the round, go sit in the Kirtan and forget about it. No recording, no photographs, just sit there and hear the holy names. That's because different sannyasis will come, one after the other, one after the other. Every half an hour, you'll see that mandal will be changing, Kirtan mandal will be changing. I think I'm doing good marketing, am I? so think about it. It's your time, and it happens once in a year. And this is a special year next year because it's the year of Adhika Mas. So it's a special year again. So we did go once. Subbarao Prabhu and Praveen Prabhu, they came, but we didn't spend much time in the Kirtan Mela. We were like going around. Yeah, we went for the Mahabhishekam time. Yeah.
1 day of that.
Yeah, 1 day of that. But this time we are planning for 3 to 4 days of Kirtan Mela, then going to Kolkata. No bookings are done. We'll just spontaneously jump and go to Calcutta. Calcutta, 1.5 day, going around all Prabhupada's appearance place, where he met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Ultadanga Junction, where Prabhupada studied. We go to all those places. Just by hiring an auto, go one to one place, and then go to Ganga Sagar, if it's possible. There is another plan. Go to Ganga Sagar and then come back. So that is a yatra. Not much parikram planned this time. So whoever wants to enjoy Kirtan Mela, or rather get absorbed in Kirtan Mela, please plan your tickets. I've taken train tickets. My wife is already shouting. Very train. But somehow I feel that coming back in train is like good relaxing after a long yatra. But let us see. February is still another 3 months away. How Lord Krishna decides what will happen. Just block the tickets and I kept it. So if you all want to block your ticket, do it now. Because Tatkal, me and Mahesh Prabhu had a very, funny experience trying to book Tatkal tickets, which never works, I believe. The website exactly goes down when the Tatkal time starts. And exactly it comes back when it is in waiting list.
Yeah.
We didn't understand what's going on. So that's one thing. Okay. So I hope everybody here in good health, are slowly getting in good health. For some reason, the infections are so sore and so heavy that even now, devotees are struggling with bad stomach and digestion issues, stomach burn. I myself am bloating stomach, Even if I eat this much, my stomach is becoming this much. I don't know what to do. So maybe time will take care of it. Yeah. Okay. So once again, thank you very much, Shilpa Mataji, for arranging this place. Before I get into a little bit discussion about Gita, so next 2 weeks are going to be very important. I just wanted to give a little bit time on explaining why they are important. So next week, especially, it's Ekadashi on Sunday, and look at the way everything gets planned. That His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Swami Maharaj is coming on a Ekadashi day. He's a very busy Maharaj, I'm telling you. And he would not give time to people he doesn't know. Definitely doesn't know us. But still, it is mercy of Champaklata Mataji. I was behind her. Please get Maharaj sometime. It's been going on for more than a year now. Since 1 year, we have been trying, and finally Maharaj said, okay, he will give some time. So he's giving time on that evening. So no matter where you are, please, your physical body has to be along with your subtle body in that satsang. Okay, so don't miss it at all. And we want to invite Maharaj and bring Maharaj to the hall in a very grand way, because that is how we bring Prabhupada, that is how we bring God, and that is how we bring God's devotees. And Maharaj himself has sacrificed his mind, body, soul, everything in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. There's nothing that he has left unturned, including his own health. Right? You all know how he lost his leg also in a fight to save the deities. When something happened, there's a big story behind it. But he has given his life, and such devotees are very rare. Such great sannyas are very rare. And now also he leads a very austere life. And he teaches austerity in a very essential way. to all his disciples, and most of we have Matadi here, who is Maharaj's disciple here, and yeah, Maharaj has opened many farm communities. I'll tell you, opening a temple is one level of difficulty. Opening a farm community is even difficult because you literally go to a most remote part of the world and you start from scratch. Sometimes there is no electricity also. And those kind of places, you develop a temple, you develop a congregation, you send people, devotees, and they go through so many struggles. I had come to one farm community in Karnataka. What is it? Every, yeah. He stays there. Without electricity. Yeah, Every. When we were in Udupi, we were planning to go to the farm community in Every. So it so happened that we became late. We plan was to reach Every by 4 o'clock. So we can spend from 4 o'clock to 7, 8 and then have dinner and leave. But something happened in Udupi and our plan got messed up. 1.5 hours we were late. By the time we went, the sun already set. And one of the problem, actually not a problem, but problem for us is there is no electricity they don't use electricity. So you go there and there are only lamps. So there was evening aarti going on, beautiful Gaur-Nitai and hut made, mud painted, and there was the aarti going on. Maharaj was not there at that time, we just went. I wanted to especially speak how they are taking care of cows, because at that time we were taking care of cows here. So it's unbelievable how somebody can stay there. I'm telling you, it's not easy, especially with the facilities that we have been used to. Staying in a place like Every or many such farm communities, wherever. It's a missionary spirit. It's a service for Prabhupada, what they're trying to do. And so much preaching they do in the local villages there. Everything is grown locally, vegetables, milk, ghee, everything local. And Maharaj is developing many such Varnashrama communities. He heads the Varnashrama ministry of entire ISKCON worldwide. So he has many projects lined up and he has some amazing disciples. I know some of the disciples of Maharaj, Sriram Prabhu and Sri Krishna Purushottam Prabhu in US. I knew him very well. He's a amazing distributor of Bhagavatam set. He has a siddhi. I feel he has a siddhi. He'll go and hold the Bhagavatam set in front of somebody. He'll look into his eyes and he'll take it. He'll take it. I don't know what he does. Every single week he distributes Bhagavatam. Every single week. Not like once in a year. Goes into different gated communities and distributes Bhagavatam. Maharaj is very pleased by him. And many such devotees are there who are profusely into book distribution. Yeah. So once Maharaj was in Denver, when we were there, and we heard Maharaj's lecture, and after that, my younger son, Hriday was very young. I told this many times in Satsang. He went to Maharaj. He was like, Hriday was like what? 2nd grade, something like that. So he went to Maharaj. I took him to Maharaj to take blessings. So this fellow took blessings and he got up and Maharaj, where is your another leg? I was like, what is this question? I felt very embarrassed. What is Maharaj going to say? But Maharaj just laughed, we just laughed. Krishna gave it, Krishna took it back. What an answer. Even a child could understand that answer. He was totally convinced. Vijay was totally convinced. One second. Yeah. So that is next week. So don't miss this opportunity. Sadhu Sangha, Sharva Shastra Kaya, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Kaya. Even a fraction of second, 1/14th of a second. Lava is 1/14th of a second. So 1 second is, what is 1 second? So divide it by 14 parts. So what is the 14th part? You can't even feel the presence. But Shastra explains even Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarvasiddhi. You get all the spiritual benefit by reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so many scriptures, doing so many things is one side. Getting association of pure devotee even for a fraction of a second is much higher, Shastra explains. Sarvasiddhi hai. And how does it work? How does it work when a pure devotee? Lava Matra Sadhu, is it like you go in front of Maharaj and run away? What does it mean? Very simple. When a pure devotee looks at the world, he looks at in the spirit of service to God. And as soon as he sees all the living entities, he feels so merciful and pity that these people are wasting their life. Somebody is wasting in Infosys, somebody in Microsoft. You feel very miserable. These people feel that they are in such a good condition, but they are in a worse condition. So they look at us and they pray. Right? We feel that we are in good condition. That is our situation. But they can see our real situation. Immediately they pray from inside. Oh Krishna, take care of this fellow in Amazon. This fellow in forest only. Some forest. Do something with this fellow. Because how it is. It's funny part. Some people go to sannyasis and like, Maharaj, I just returned from America. I work in Amazon. Maharaj looks at them like that. Fools. They're identifying themselves with temporary, useless, meaningless things of this world. And they're feeling proud about it. It happens. Many times I see, even devotees, they want to tell their material designations to sannyasis or how well off they're doing, or call sannyasi to my house, I'll show how great my house is. For a sannyasi, house looks like a snake hole. The bigger the snake hole, the horrible situation we are in. Right? Snake goes into different hole. That means Ectoplex villa. Or fourplex villa. Like that. That's how a sannyasi looks at it. And the sannyasi knows the situation of a, most important, are you ready to come out of this place and go back to Krishna? Like beautifully Tarakrisha Prabhu was explaining today. That how Krishna is paralyzed inside us. A different way of looking at it. Right? Krishna is paralyzed inside us because he gave us free will. And we are the stupids who are keeping Krishna stuck inside us. Krishna can't leave us because he loves us so much. And we are not ready to go to Krishna. What will Krishna do? He's stuck. He can't do anything. Every life is telling, please, this life, at least this life, make some progress. No, I'm busy. Make some progress. No, I'm busy. So it's going on. And one time Krishna is okay. You take me where you want to take. And then a devotee comes and it brings a person towards Krishna. So how Krishna will be pleased? How much Krishna will be pleased knowing that this devotee is bringing something that I am not able to do. And this devotee is doing it for me. And so when a devotee, like great sannyasis, they pray for us, Krishna is immediately into action. Immediately into action. He wants to implement those prayers. Then Name Bhakta Pranashyati. We make sure that every prayer is Konteha Pratijanihi Name Bhakta. The moment a devotee endeavors into something, Krishna will implement it. So the moment sannyasis and great devotees pray for us, immediately we will get the blessings. And they will pray for us, provided we are sincere in front of them. See, once Radheshan Prabhu was telling that sometimes devotees go in front of sannyasis and they start giving the report card. Right? Maharaj, yes, how are you? Maharaj, many Maharaj, we are doing satsang is going on very nice, Maharaj. 200 people are coming, Maharaj. Maharaj is like, okay. Yes, Maharaj, very nice, we are going to Yatra also, we went here also, did this also, we are doing that also, this also. Maharaj is thinking, what do you want me to do? You are coming here to ask help or give help? Right? The mood of going to sannyasi is to beg. That Maharaj, whatever is happening, it's not helping me. I am completely messed up. Satsang is happening, fundraising is happening, temple is flourishing. All that is external, Maharaj. Internally, I am dying. Please help me. Then they will pray for you. You understand? What is the mood of going in front of sannyasi? Not to show what you have, to tell what you don't have. Then they will pray for you. And when they pray for you, your life changes. Right? And that's where you take initiations also. Right? You take Maharaj is also initiating Guru. Like one of the devotees in our satsang, his name is, how can I forget? He was very much inclined towards cow protection and all that. So I told him maybe the right Maharaj for you is Bhakti Raghav Maharaj. So he's connected to Maharaj now. He's also going to his associates who are doing programs and all that. He used to come to our SSR session. What is his name? Oh, Krishna. Yeah. So please see this Sannyasi Maharaj as a great opportunity to get mercy. So that's happening next week, Ekadashi. And the following week, we are having His Grace Radhesham Prabhu come in for once in a 3 months kind of a visit. We block his calendar, we do everything. And Prabhuji is very clear, in the month of November, December, he is not going to do any program. The program doesn't include book distribution. He told that clearly. So you all can also call Prabhuji to your home, provided you are distributing books. He will come and he will help you and facilitate you. That is Prabhuji's mood, right? And it doesn't matter if you're distributing 1 Bhagavatam set or 1000 Bhagavatam sets. He is there. He is there to distribute it. Not the number, but the participation. So by Lord Krishna's mercy, this year, with all your efforts and tapasya, we have done a sizable number, 309 Bhagavatam sets. And out of that, many devotees have taken for their self, and many devotees have donated also for temples. We are still almost in the process of finishing the temple distribution. So we are also calling many Brahmanas from those temples to come and accept from Prabhuji's hands. And we also have to reach out to all the people who took them to come and get them signed. Make sure that we have a list and they all come to take the Bhagavatam sets. So it's going to be a massive satsang. At least I'm expecting more than 300 to 350 people. That is the reason we have booked a bigger hall in my home Avatar. I think which can accommodate up to 500 easily. Yeah. So that's something that we should plan. So there is a lot getting planned. And one more thing I wanted to tell to everybody who is coming to the satsang is start telling me if you have an inspiration from any Sannyasi Maharaj. Start thinking about it, taking it seriously. Spiritual life cannot go forward without the mercy of a guru. You have to make a choice of a guru at some point in time. Right? You should start aspiring from that guru. And there are many wonderful souls in wonderful gurus, initiating gurus in our response society. So start thinking about that. And please keep me informed. Why keep me informed? Because what I'll do is I'll try to connect you to that guru's group. Because you need to understand more how to serve that group. For example, His Holiness Bhakti Raghav Maharaj also has a group, many groups actually within Hyderabad, where they celebrate his Vyas Puja, where they hear exclusively from that Maharaj. And even Jayapataka Maharaj has his own group in Hyderabad, right? So what I do is I connect you to those gurus. Like even His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he has a group in Hyderabad. It's one group. I also take care of one group in that. So if you let me know, then I'm going to introduce you to the respective groups. I was speaking recently with some of the devotees here that start thinking that way. See, if you're chanting 4 rounds, 10 rounds, 12 rounds, it's okay, you're growing there. Once you come to 16 rounds, if you don't have shelter of a group, then you can't hold on to that 16 rounds. It's very difficult. A lot of people go to 16 and then they go to 14 and 12 and 1. Right? The downfall also because they have not taken shelter of a guru. Very important. And every guru is different, at the same time they are same. Meaning they are all disciples of Prabhupada, serving Prabhupada, but at the same time they're different. How? Their mood is different. So don't go with the statement some people wrongly say, I get initiated any guru, they are all part of the same thing, right? Part of Prabhupada, right? Radhesham Prabhu very clearly told, never encourage that kind of thought process also. Because they have to choose a guru in our whole, ISKCON community, and then get attached to that guru, and then start working on serving that guru. Right? Attend his Vyas Puja. Vyas Puja is a very, very important ceremony. Once in a year it is conducted, and not anybody is allowed. Only Hare Krishna. Only the disciples of the guru and the aspiring disciples of the guru are formally allowed to be part of the Vyas Puja. Outsiders are not allowed. Why? Because some very specific details about that guru and his projects are discussed. And we don't want to promote any guru. It's like, okay, my guru is doing some projects, I'll call 10 people, tell about those projects and impress them so that they can initiate it from the guru. That's a wrong attitude. The gurus don't want it like that. Whoever wants to serve has to be attracted to those projects and they have to come and join and serve through a guru. Are you all understanding what I'm speaking? Yeah. So whoever has reached 16 rounds, don't delay too much more. At the same time, you have to take your own time. I'm not pushing you. At the same time, also telling there is an urgency that you should start thinking about a guru. Because at some point, you have to take shelter. And then your spiritual life will be stable. Now you know who is going to take you back to God. Got it, right? And you might feel that I'm not attracted to this sannyasi, I'm not attracted, I don't know any sannyasi. You don't know, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, right? Start hearing to different sannyasis and start serving some sannyasis. Start knowing the disciples of those sannyasis, and then you will get the understanding, then you can slowly take it forward. So that's what I'm saying. So to aspire, you don't need to chant 16 rounds. But once you reach 16, don't delay it too much. Get fixed up. And we have a clear criteria for taking initiation in ISKCON society is from the time you started chanting 16 rounds and following the 4 regulative principles, including not eating, onion, garlic, some things that are not allowed. 3 years you have to maintain that without any breakage, without any stoppage in between. Then you are qualified to put an application. Not that you are qualified for initiation. Once you do that, then you can ask your Shiksha Guru or whoever you are working with, can I get initiated? Right? Before that, you can put an application, but it will come into action only after you finish the 3 years. Right? You can tell, okay, I'm aspiring, I'm chanting 4 rounds now, I want to go to 16. But you have to inform when you have reached the 16, when you have stopped eating things which are not allowed. And you are in Kantimala, following the regulative principles, you're attending satsang, you're regular to every satsang, right? Under whoever you're going. And then you become qualified, and then your name will be sent to the temple. And temple people conduct an interview to make sure you are really serious. And then sometimes some Maharaj also has his own team doing an interview. After all the interview, they also do an interview saying, are you really in the right state of mind? Right? And then your name is sent in the list of initiations. And when the initiations happen, you'll be called, saying you can come now. Initiations are happening in Hyderabad, they're happening in Bombay, they're happening in Delhi, Vrindavan, wherever. Your name is there. If it is there, you'll be called, you should go and get the mercy. Best situation is both the husband and wife going together for initiation. But in some cases, it doesn't happen. Sometimes the wife is a little more advanced. She is very much prepared. Husband wants more time, or vice versa. It can happen. So you go forward still and try to get the mercy. You should not wait like, when my wife is ready, then only I get initiated. That's another, attachment. You should think like a soul. The soul is looking for mercy to go back to Krishna. So yes, it's good to have your spouse along with you, but you should also understand the urgency of how much a soul has to connect back to Krishna. Right? Don't make it like my wife has to get initiated. No, now my elder son also has to get initiated. My neighbor also has to get initiated. Doesn't work. My friend has to get initiated. Don't put links there. Already we have too many links everywhere. Right? So be prepared for the day. And the day you're initiated, there starts your spiritual life. Initiation means to start. You boarded the bus. Right? Once you get initiated, you board a bus. And the bus will go towards Krishna. You will also go towards Krishna, provided you don't get down from the bus. So once you get initiated, you give a commitment that I will stay in the bus. Even if the conductor beats me, even if the people in the bus shout at me, whatever happens, I will stay in the bus. And definitely people will shout at you, definitely people will beat you. Because that is a bus of purification. Right? So you get through the purificatory process. By the time you reach Goloka, automatically You will have a Kantimala written on it, Trinadapi Sunichena, Darorapi Sahishtana, Amananiya Manadena, Kirtane Sadhana. For the stamp to come, you will have to go through everything. Right? It's a good thing. It's a good thing, whatever we go through. Why is the devotee treating me like that? How can he, being a devotee, do that? Obviously, he'll do. He's specially manufactured for you. He will do it. You know, initiated devotee is also treating me like that. He's initiated for you only. Perfectly for you. Because you deserve it. So don't feel anything like that. Everything Krishna will prepare. Look at the Kurukshetra war also, right? I mean, look at the way Bhishma was treated. Huh? Poor Bhishma, he was completely serving him. Krishna gave him so much pain, so many arrows everywhere in his body, thrown on the ground. And look at, I mean, if you really look at it, after the Kurukshetra, Krishna went to his house. Pandavas went to the house. Pure devotee, Mahajan Bhishma was sleeping in the Kurukshetra. Nobody around him until Uttarayana. And then Krishna remembers him. Says, okay, I'll also come. Right? But he had the faith. Imagine Bhishma Dev had the faith that Krishna will come. We should have that faith. But what situation was he in? He was completely filled with arrows. There was no blood also. It is explained there is no blood in the body. Actually, no organs in the body. Arrows are stuck to his bones and muscles, which are already rotten. His body is rotten. There is nothing left in it. No organ is there. And it is kind of hanging on a bunch of arrows. Imagine the pain. Right? Little bit pain we feel like that. What pain he has. And in that pain, he got a news that war is over. Everybody has gone back to their kingdoms. And the kingdom's ruling also has started. Then nobody is with him. It's not that Krishna told him, hang on, I'll come. No, he was still hanging. But he was not told to hang on. But he stayed. And he was just waiting. Okay, Krishna, I know you will come. When the right time comes, you will come. Krishna never forgets his devotees. Never. Krishna comes. Such a beautiful way. Recently, we had a beautiful leaving ceremony of Nainatharani Mataji. You've seen that? I don't know how many of you have seen the video. It made everyone cry. I can tell the whole world cried. Everybody who saw that video. How many have not seen that video? Lift your hand. Yeah, some videos you can watch. So please search for that video and watch. Because such videos will increase your faith in the whole process. What a beautiful video. She served, I don't know her person, but I've seen her many times. In many yatras, I've seen her. I know her family, I've seen them. Whether in US or whether in India, they've come to yatras. Sincere family. But look at what difficulties she got. She was a kirtanier. She was a kirtanier. She was also serving the deities. She was taking care of her family. What all a Mataji can do, she was doing. And she learned, my wife was telling, she learned harmonium from another Mataji. And she learned harmonium at a pace that you can't even believe. Like she wanted to learn harmonium. And she finished learning in like few months. She learned and she was doing kirtans for Radha Gopi Janavallabha. Those were the deities she was serving. And then I don't know the exact details of what happened, but it ultimately went down to a point where her lungs had to be replaced. It went to a point where her lungs are not functioning and they have to be replaced. And it's not going to happen. So doctors told that it's not going to happen. So it's almost a news that she has to leave. And that sometimes happens. Right? And look at how Krishna reciprocated for all the services that she has done. My God. Especially in that video, the most touching part was the third part. Somebody, devotees recorded it for our advantage. So there is part 1, part 2, part 3. Everything happened during that time. Everything happened between 1.5 to 2 hours. And as Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, her Guru, also came on the line. And they thought that, see, problem is sometimes devotees leave, but they don't know when they're going to leave. Right? It might take 1 day, it might take 1 hour, sometimes even 1 minute. Doctors tell that now is the time. It can happen anytime after that. So their pulse rate, the pulse keeps going down, the symptoms start showing up. So Maharaj came like 2 hours before. He was told, that she's going to leave, and he spoke to her. And then he said, start the kirtan. Everybody was doing the kirtan. His Grace Jugal Kishore Prabhu. I've never seen him cry. First time I saw in that video, he was totally. Everybody were crying in that situation.
Crying songs also in the form of mantra, because it really moved me.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna is singing and his voice is.
Yeah, he's choking and singing, and they're crying. Because you're seeing a devotee leaving the body. And the most touching, you see, I have not seen, none of us have seen Gajendra showing flower. We have not seen. Right? None of us have seen Prahalad seeing Nrsimhadev and folding his hands. We have not seen that. But at the nth moment, just I think few minutes before she left the body, maybe 10 minutes before she left the body, she lifted both her hands. Yes. It was unbelievable. I mean, you can't do that if you don't have a devotion. She showed the gratitude to everybody in that place. 3 places she turned. Just imagine she's dying. She's choking, she can't breathe. And she knows that she's going to die. Everybody is surrounding her. Her guru is on the screen. The deities are there in front of her. And she is turning this side, this side, this side. She looked at Yugal Kishore Prabhu, her Shiksha Guru. I'm done. And we holded her hand, and my God, it was unbelievable. I mean, that gratitude is the qualification to go back to Krishna. That gratitude is a conclusion of all scriptures. The feeling of gratitude, the thank you. Thank you, devotees, for being in my life. Thank you for staying with me when I'm going through this last moment. Right? She went. She left back to Krishna. This is the greatest beauty of spiritual life. Where will you find people who will pray for you like that? Crying for you, praying for you, intensely praying for you. Your guru is praying for you. Whole ISKCON society, everybody, and even now people who are seeing that is praying for her. Where will you find that? And this is the greatest asset when we come to satsang. We should not carry an expectation that, my guru should pray for me. He should come on the phone call. That is another sense gratification. We should not have that expectation, but we should pray that, please let all the devotees pray for me. And I've personally seen devotees leaving their bodies, like with all the prayers around. Such a fortunate way of leaving the world. How people leave the world outside, tell me. No matter how rich you are, how people leave the body. Like orphans. Recently I was speaking to, I just share this because it's happening in my life. My father is unwell, as you all know. And there are some caretakers who are coming and taking care of my father. So my mother is finding a lot of problems in the caretakers who are coming. They are not good caretakers. Like if you don't see them, if you don't monitor them, they will not take care of the patient properly. Sometimes the patient has slipped from the pillow, he's like this, and he can't move himself. He can't tell anything. And the caretaker is watching mobile, they're playing games. Right? If you don't go into that room, the patient might be suffering for hours. And the caretaker doesn't care. Because the caretakers are like that. They don't take care. That's the reality. They're known to be caretakers. Yeah, anyway. So I called. So almost in the last 13 months, we changed like 11 people. 11 people. And the longest time one person stayed was like 2.5 months. And the shortest time is 2 hours. Literally, one fellow he sent, he was a security guard. He came like a caretaker. That fellow doesn't know anything about taking care. He was sent. Because that's how they throw. No matter which agency you go, they throw like that. So I was speaking to the agency person. I was like, boss, what is going on? Then he told me an amazing thing, which really shook me up. He told, Sir, you are dealing with me for a long time now, so I'll tell the truth. Your mother is really monitoring what the caretakers are doing. That is the problem. I said, what do you mean? I said, see, your mother is actually seeing what they are doing. Many places where they go, nobody sees them. That is where they stay for 8 months, 9 months also. In your house, the problem is your mother is seeing what they are doing. So what should I do? He was speaking like that. I was like, what to react? I'm like, boss, you have a company. The company is a nursing care company. You are supposed to send people who are supposed to come and take care. And he's like, yes, I'm running a nursing care company, but your mother is seeing everything they are doing. So I was thinking, what is happening in other houses? When people fell sick, see, not everybody can afford. It's actually lakhs. Let me tell you, a person on the bed is 1.5 lakh per month. Period. Whichever way you calculate it. Upside, downside, whichever way. How many can spend 1.5 lakh a month? And for how long can you spend? Only well-off people can spend that. Or some way it is coming, the money is coming. Right? Somebody's entire salary is going in that. Whichever way, they're spending it. Now just imagine people who are putting those caretakers are from opulent families. And the people in opulent families means the person has worked all his life to bring that opulence into the family. And now he's on the bed and nobody is even coming into that room. They've thrown a caretaker, a physiotherapist, somebody into the room, and they don't even see that person. This is called death in an opulent family. Right? Ironically, this is the death. When you're stuck, you can't even move, you can't even say, you can't even cry, and you're given so much for your daughter, so much for your son, one idiot in Australia, one fool in America, one useless fellow in Hyderabad. Nobody's in the room. Nobody's in the room. You want to speak, nobody's in the room. You're dying there.
This is there in a separate house only.
Separate. A lot of people don't keep them in the house.
Yeah, separate house.
It is
That is
like
what KTX expect.
separate house, separate this, separate that. You know, there's so many old age homes. There's so many hospices. What is another thing? They say rehab centers, rehabilitation centers. Huh? You know, rehabilitation centers are completely occupied. You'll be shocked. We are in a different world. There's another different world going on there. You don't get space in good rehab centers. And the minimum price they charge is 1.6 lakhs per month per patient. They'll take care of everything until he dies. They say they'll take care. You know what it means. Right? Why am I telling all this? Is think about that death where there is no Krishna, where there is no devotee, and think about the death that you're all going to have one day, where there will be Krishna and devotees. Right? Praying for us. Prabhuji and Matajis, we are the most opulent people on this planet. We are the most opulent people on this planet. Remember that. Don't leave this opulence for anything. Anything in the world, don't leave this opulence. Because devotees will come and pray for you. I know so many devotees who went and prayed in their houses, stayed in their houses for days and weeks, when they got to know that the person is going to die. Right? And they were continuously chanting, sitting with them, talking. Like there is a disappearance lila of His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, very famous in our society, when he was leaving his body in Gita Nagari society. So many sannyasis went and spent so much time. And especially my own Guru Maharaj, as well as Radharan Swami Maharaj. He spent such a long time, he cancelled all his meetings, all his programs. Because Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj told, Maharaj, I want you with me. They were good friends. And he stayed. And throughout the time they were talking and discussing, and every single month, one limb of his body was getting rotten. And what do you say that? Removed, amputated. At one point, he did not have legs because they were completely spread with cancer. So much pain. He became almost like on bones, little skin on the bones, right? Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. How many have seen him dancing? I don't know if you've seen him dancing. If somebody is calling Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj for a Bhagavatam class, The Bhagavatam class will start at 11 o'clock, not 9 o'clock. Because his Guru Puja will end at 11 o'clock. Guru Puja happens at 7:30. Sri Guru Charana Padma. And he'll dance in such a way, he'll go till 11 o'clock. Forget about breakfast, forget about anything. And then at 11 o'clock, he'll tell, okay, Jai Om Vishnu Pad Pronouns. Now we'll have Bhagavatam class. That kind of a person was Bhakti Tirtha Swami. He used to directly walk into Mandela's room, Nelson Mandela, and speak to him. That was the access he had for greatest of the people in Africa. And Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, when he went to Prabhupada, in the initial days, he complained to Prabhupada. The Prabhupada, some of the disciples in the ashram are telling that I'm black. Then Prabhupada told, when did I say you are black or white? You are soul. Soul is not black or white. Go, do your chanting. Prabhupada is Prabhupada. You are the Atma, not the body. Go. Who is telling you are black? And then Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj started preaching in Africa, in so many countries, especially African countries. Very difficult, huh? I mean, you can even be killed in those countries if you are going and preaching there. There we went to one place where everybody were pitch black. They all were looking at it. Maharaj went there and said, your God has finally come to you. Look at this God, he's completely black. Radha Govinda, Krishna, see, God is black. They immediately said, God is also black, we are also black. So many ways, he was motivated. He was motivating so much he did. And the final days, he actually, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj's departure was a turning point of entire ISKCON. Many people say that. Because when Prabhupada left, there was a vacuum. And when Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj left, it created another great personality leaving event, in front of thousands of people. In Gita Nagari it happened when he left. It literally changed the faith, or rather enhanced the faith of so many people in ISKCON, the way he left his body. And you can see Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj departure. There are a lot of videos in YouTube. Literally they'll pull you to tears. You can't just see it. So many. And there is a lecture given by my Guru Maharaj, is known as Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And the lecture is 7.5 hours. It was supposed to be Bhagavatam class in Chowpatty. So he's sitting in Chowpatty and he started speaking about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. And then he continued speaking about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Then he was completely speaking about Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Then he was completely telling what was going on there. Then it was also lunchtime. Breakfast is already gone. It was already lunchtime. Almost afternoon. Then devotees are not moving. None of them moved. I mean, I heard that lecture. I heard the lecture myself. 7.5 hours lecture. And nobody was moving even a fraction. As if people don't have any toilet or breathing space or nothing. They were just stuck and just hearing about the glories of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Right? And one of the famous lectures. And finally, after the whole thing, he says, if you want me to continue, say Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Start continuing again. This goes on. So those are the glories of this great devotees, right? How they have given their life for ISKCON. So that Mataji's video reminded me of, almost made me feel, I'm just sharing how Gajendra lifted the flower. I could see she lifting the flower for Krishna with those two hands. Thank you. And what was the consciousness of her husband? My God, he spoke at the end, right? It's unbelievable. He was only thanking, and both his children were beside. The son was hardly 11 years, 10 years, I don't know. The daughter might be 13, 14. And they had not a single expression of any, obviously they're in pain, but no complaint. Only pain, no complaining. Right? No complaining. Why it happened to my mother? Why it happened to my wife? He folded his hands and he was only thanking his Guru to be available to give that mercy at that particular time. And he was apologizing on behalf of his wife Because from the time her condition became very serious, she could only chant 8 rounds. That is what he was telling. That my wife asked you to tell you Maharaj, but I'm telling now, for a few days she could only chant 8 rounds. She could not finish the 16 rounds. Look at the consciousness. People, how seriously we should think about chanting. Today, okay, I cannot chant. Tomorrow I can chant. Chanting is a commitment. It's a commitment for life. So, Prabhupada, there is no question of not chanting. There is no question of discontinuing chanting. If you are discontinuing chanting, means over, your spiritual life is gone. Your entire spiritual life is in the chanting by pros and cons. If you, as long as your hand is inside the chanting bag and you're chanting, you're continuing in spiritual life. The day you remove the hand out of that and say, I'm taking a break, it's over. So, and I see some devotees who keep stopping in between. I don't know why. No, that's not, and you're not doing it because there is a rule that if I do it for 3 years, then only get initiated. No, it is for life. Until your last breath, until the last day, in whatever condition you are, you have to continue your rounds. There is no compromise on that. Then Mataji showed in such a beautiful way. And so many disciples of Prabhupada, Yamuna Mataji, she was like this on the chair, chanting her rounds when she left her body. Just imagine. And some devotee went and saw 16 rounds are pulled down. She finished the rounds and she left the body. That is a commitment. Yes, Krishna, I have given a commitment to my Guru. I will finish my 16 rounds. Whatever may happen. I might be sick. I might get. And if I am not in coma, I am chanting. If I am in coma, I don't know what happens in coma. I don't know if there is a provision to chant when you are in coma. But you should chant. Chant your rounds. Yes, he finishes his chanting. Even now, there are days he's in so much pain, extreme pain. You can't imagine that pain. He has multiple organ transplants. And he has, weight loss, he has brain stroke, heart stroke, everything is going on. So there are days sometimes he can't even get up. So he gets up the next day and asks his, how long was I not getting up? 1 day. So that means 16. So today I have to chant 32. And that is how he calculates and makes sure that he's finishing his rounds. And when people get initiated, then sometimes they stop chanting. How horrible that can be, this thing. And what a responsibility Guru carries, or if you are in that position of recommending people for initiation, what kind of responsibility you carry? It's very easy to go and tell, okay, Maharaj, this person I know, can you please initiate him? I can guarantee, but what guarantee you'll give if you stop chanting? And Maya is very strong. I know some people, they got initiated from great sannyasis. They stop chanting. They stop coming to satsangs. Finish. Just think about that sannyasi who initiated them. And he is still praying. Sannyasi is still praying for those souls. Somehow. Initiation is a very, very serious topic. That's why we don't recommend anybody and anybody. And even after we recommend, we fall at their feet every 2 months. Please don't stop chanting. Please don't stop following the regulative principles. Please don't, start eating every other day outside. Please don't convert exceptions into, what is that? Regular things. Yes, my Shiksha Guru told, I can eat curd rice outside. Every day you're eating outside. My Shiksha Guru told, no onion garlic, so I can go ahead and have. Every day you're eating outside. You're going in the train, somebody is selling idli. Oh, you can have idli, right? You can have idli, no? It doesn't have onion garlic. No. The consciousness is what? It's everything. Consciousness is everything. Are you trying to make Krishna consciousness work? Or are you working for Krishna consciousness? You should be working for Krishna consciousness, not make it work. Somehow I'm managing it, I'm eating here, I'm eating there. Somehow I'm finishing the rounds. Somehow I'm closing the chapter. Here are my commitment. 16 rounds. Kiya. घर पे खाया. कुछ भी. Maya can step into everybody's life. Don't think Maya is, she is sitting calm. Maya Devi is not there in any block of DSR Aditya right now. Maya Devi is not there because those people are already in Maya. Why will Maya be in those houses? Maya is here in this hall right now, looking at each one of us. Can you see her? See me. I am Maya. She's looking at each one of us. She's like, "Acha bacha, hasa hai." Huh? देखेंगे तेरा क्या होगा. कितने आदमी थे. दो सरकार, दोनों को पकड़ो. She is absolutely ready to test us. Spiritual life is filled with tests. And don't think it is not. I am not part of the test. You are being tested every single moment. And even within the satsang, choose the right association. I always say this. Choose the right association, even within the satsang. Because Maya is there everywhere. Somebody who keeps on showing you exceptions in spiritual life. The best devotee is the one who asks you, are you chanting your 16 rounds? He is the best person in satsang. Don't think he's arrogant. Who are you to ask me? You do your rounds now? No. If somebody is coming and asking, Prabhuji, go your rounds, don't be angry on the devotee. All it is sweet. Thank you for asking. Somebody is checking on me. Because our arrogance is so high. We don't want anybody to ask. Even if Guru asks, you have a problem. I told na, initiation time I told na. Why are you asking? Egos are so shooted up. Individuality, we are so individual, right? See, if I ask all of you, okay, next month onwards, I want an Excel sheet of how you are spending your money. What do you ever put now? Inner voice, right personal. What do you think you are? You tell your class and get lost. I know my life. I don't have to report you how I'm spending my money. I'm earning my money. Why should I tell you? Sir, how many are ready to send that Excel sheet? Don't tip the net. That is how accountable we should be in spiritual life. At the time of initiation, what are you telling? My mind, my body, my soul, everything belongs to you. That also includes our bank accounts. That also includes our salary. That also includes all the comfort that we invest in. Right? That also includes everything. It's not external commitment, it's the internal commitment. Right? Where we are giving to Krishna and Guru that I am yours. The Guru says, okay, tell me how you are spending your salary. Here is how I am spending my salary. And Guru tells you, why are you spending on those things? Why don't you give that to temple? Why don't you buy books? Why don't you help somebody? Yes, Maharaj. In the beginning days of Krishna consciousness, there are disciples of Prabhupada who literally gave their salary to Prabhupada. As soon as he got their salary, they gave it to Prabhupada. They said, Prabhupada, here is the salary. Run the center. I think it is Brahma. What is it? Prabhuji's name? Brahmananda Prabhu. It seems once. I think it was him. Sorry if I'm missing the right disciple's name, but this disciple, he was giving his entire salary to Prabhupada. Just literally giving his entire salary. As soon as he does the job, he gets the salary, give it to Prabhupada, and then go every day for having 1 or 2 meals of prasadam in that place. Everything for the center. And then he wanted a book. He wanted the book of Prabhupada. Prabhupada had written one book. So he went and told Prabhupada, I want that book. Prabhupada told $3. Well, what is this? I give my salary to you. Prabhupada pakka businessman. No. Give $3, take it. He gave $3, by the way. That is Prabhupada's for you. Right? That is the level of commitment those disciples showed. And that is the reason we are today seeing this great society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON, has come after so many sacrifices. We are literally, we are getting ISKCON in a golden plate. Temples are there, treaties are there, books are there. You have been given a job where you can earn a salary to buy the books. Everything is given to you. God has given you everything. And now we are deciding whether or not to Sudam. Let us see how much we can make it work. Right? Sometimes when they are given a golden plate, we don't really value it, isn't it? But look at what they did at that time. There was no ISKCON. There was no temple. They were literally giving off everything that they had. Everything that they had. To please their spiritual masters. Right? So now the problem is we are so independent, especially Grihasthas, no? Because we are outside the temple. See, inside the temple, you have to report and do whatever is told. But when you're outside the temple, you can do anything, right? And especially with the good salaries that we get when we are in IT, we get 10, 15 horns also, right? I can do whatever I want. Why am I supposed to report to anybody? On the same time, you're also telling that I want to make advancement in spiritual life. Such a contradiction, right? That is the reason for a Grihastha association is a must. Regular association and austerity is a must. Austerity is a must. Austerity is a must. Austerity means what? Doing things which you don't like to do for the purpose of serving Krishna. You have to do that. And if a Siksha Guru is giving it, the Diksha Guru is giving it, take it. Take it without a complaint. Because that austerity will decide your progress. Sitaram Prabhu was telling that. Last day class, Prabhupada was telling that this austerity that you are taking is going to take you back to God. Prabhupada was telling that to I think Giriraj Maharaj or Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. This austerity is going to take you back to God. Are we ready for austerity, Prabhuji and Mataji, all of us? Better be ready. It will come. But when the austerity comes, don't complain. Prabhuji, nahi Prabhuji, itna nahi Prabhuji, itna nahi Prabhuji. Yeah, austerity is there. Last week, some devotees messaged me saying that Prabhuji don't conduct satsang. I think many of them are sick. This is that. I said, Prabhu, I'll decide one day before. I told you I'll decide one day before. Some people may not be happy. Why is it like that? Why is it like that? Yeah, satsang is important. For you also, for me also. Well, let me wait till the last minute. Na? I mean, what is the situation, everybody? Then automatically, okay, many people are not able to, they're really sick, okay, cancel it. But we should not cancel it one week in advance. Then, people are sick, so anyway, cancel it. That's the first thing you want to cancel. What is the first thing we cancel whenever there is a problem? Satsang. When Ade japtadu, gade inali. Waste. Why should we go to that satsang? Right? That is the first thing people leave. The first thing people leave in spiritual life is chanting. The first thing that they leave is devotee association. They leave it. But we should be exactly opposite. Exactly opposite. No matter what happens, don't leave your chanting. No matter what happens, don't leave devotee association. Especially for Grihasthas. I'm telling you, I'm not measuring anybody who is earning how much. The more you are earning, the more dangerous situation you are. Don't feel the pride that I might be earning more than many. The more you are earning, the most dangerous situation you are. Because you have that many more options to spend that earning. You understand it? That many more options to spend that earning. The more money you have, the more wealth you have, the more dangerously you are situated. That means you need more association, more service, so that you can maintain that wealth. You can deal with that wealth. I'm not saying we should not earn more. Don't mistake me like that. Grihastha should earn more. Why not? Earn in crores. 1 crore a month. I'll be very happy if somebody will Prabhuji money 1 crore a month. Very good. But use that 1 crore in Krishna service. If you keep that with you, you are gone. Pride comes in so many ways. Right? And grahasthas, especially, we are so independent, nobody can question us. And if somebody comes and question, why to speak up outside? If one devotee calls another devotee and asks, Prabhu, how is your deity worship? No, Prabhu, how is your chanting? Why are you asking me? Take care of your chanting. Mataji, are you cooking bhoga nicely for the deities? You better take care in your house. Why are you asking me? That is the ego levels, people are in. It is not coming out. One devotee told once, when I look at a satsang, I see 65 serpents. Like this. Thoda deal carefully. Thoda either touch kiya, paal se gada. Shiksha Guru dead, Diksha Guru dead, ISKCON dead. मैं अकेला नहीं जाऊंगा, 10 लोग को लेके जाऊंगा. That is how we are brought up. That is how the not joking, probably it's very scary sometimes, Even when I deal with devotees, my policy comes in between. Like, should I tell this person or should I not tell this person? If I tell this person, I don't know what will happen. That might be my last day also. There are 2 ways a devotee can die, especially a preacher. One, natural death. Second, somebody murdered him in satsang. It's not easy. I'm just kidding. But know that, we are dealing with not ordinary people. See, inside the satsang is very easy. The template is there. Problem is we know how to follow the template. We're all great actors. All movie certified. Prabhuji, Pranam Prabhuji, your mercy, Prabhu, what will happen to me, Prabhu? Prabhu, Mata, Prabhu, Mata. Kuncha Kumana, Yendra, Kuta. It's the way in the Katham. Telugu में वो नहीं आएगा, वो slang वाला Literally, I'm telling you, so difficult to deal because we're all coming with those opulences. घर में जाते मियाँ बीवी चालू हो जाते हैं. हाँ, devotees का अच्छा बात करते, घर आते मेरे पर चिल्लाते. Right? Devotees, Mataji, Prabhuji, eating रहा नहीं है. Start. Mahabharata in the house. I was asking Sitaram Prabhu a question. How do you deal with immediately Prabhu? There are more problems in devotee families now. Don't go beyond that point. Yes, there are problems. But in all that problems, we are keeping still Krishna. And that is the reason devotees, especially grahasthas, need deities in the house. Every grahastha should have deities in the house. Especially when you are far from the temple. Where you don't have regular temple darshan. Every day you should have darshan. So you decide, if you are able to go every day to temple and take darshan of the deities, serve the deities, then you don't need a deities in the house. But if you don't, you better have deities in the house. Because those deities will protect you. They will keep you in service. They will have some festivals for them. They will have some... you have to do a lot to please the deities. The deity is always looking at you like this. Every time you open the altar, then government are going this side. He is doing this side. Deities are moving here and there just to make sure our direction is right. No focus on Mangalarti. पैर घुमारे, सर पे घुमारे, कमर पे कौन घुमाएगा? How many times where what we have to rotate, what we have to do? No concentration. Mangalarti आई पेन. सुबह उठते ही husband is coming out and singing. Mangalarti is over or no? If it is not over, she'll ask me to do it. So I'll get into the toilet. I'll not come out for 1 hour. Until I hear the conch shell, I'll not come out. And she's sitting outside, not Kodaka, I'm waiting her. You do the Mangalarti. Think about what God is thinking sitting inside. Koi to karo yaar. Or give the conch shell to me, I'll only blow it. What is went to Dwarang Prabhu. There was a deity worship workshop. So some of you attended, I think some of you asked questions also. Like, should we have deities in the Dwarang Prabhu? Don't do that mistake. Don't bring deities in. Because you are going to torture them like anything. That's the only word it didn't tell. No, keep photos. Keep photos and do your worship. Don't keep deities. Oh my God, so many problems. So many problems. Doing one aarti in the house, so many problems. Independence. Some people like to have deities. मेरे घर में तुम्हारे घर में गौर मिलता है. मेरे घर में जगन्नाथ है. मेरे घर में राधा के. हाँ, I also want Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna? मेरे घर में राधा कृष्ण. तुम्हारे घर में राधा नहीं है राधा कृष्ण. कितने 10 years in spiritual you don't have Radha Krishna? अरे प्रभु जी, I love Radha Krishna. Further, I want this altar. This says altar. That says altar. This altar. My house is altar. Everything you will do. But right when it comes to daily practice, no standards. Achman liya, nahi liya. Dandavat kiya, nahi kiya. No. A lot of people even don't do dandavat in their own house when they go in front of the deities. Different types of dandavats inside. First it will be nice dandavat. Like this. Hare Krishna. Full on the ground. Next day it will be like this. Indicating I'm not able to do, but understand that I'm doing. Next day it will be like this dandavat. Flying dandavat. Right? It's a big problem in the house with dandavat pranams. Yes, we should do dandavat. Every time you remember God, do multiple times. Who is stopping you? But that is a consciousness. House is a temple. We have deities in the house. Right? We have altar in the house. It's not important how gorgeous, how beautiful the altar is. For you, it is not important. If you are a preacher, you should have one best altar. Because you have to make sure that others are attracted also. But for you, you don't need a great altar. All you need is a plank. On that, there is deities or photographs. Do your arti properly. At a time, whatever designated time. But independence. Right? So consciousness is very, very important. Very important to maintain the right consciousness in everything that we do in spiritual life. Like my Guru Maharaj is always Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that the most important thing in spiritual life is absorption. Be absorbed in what you're doing. Even that little thing that you're doing, do it with full absorption. When I'm doing chanting, I'm absorbed in chanting. When I'm doing arti, I'm absorbed in arti. When I'm doing seva, I'm absorbed in seva. When I'm doing kirtan, I'm absorbed in kirtan. Right? Absorption is bhakti. Absorption means you are giving you are 100% to that, not 15%, 10%. 100% you are giving, wherever, whatever you are doing. That improves the spiritual. I'm repeating that word, so please don't mistake me that I am absorbed. No, but I know that when the day you get absorbed, your spiritual life will be filled with happiness. We are all struggling in spiritual life because we are not yet associating with Krishna. Krishna is right there, but we are not associating with him. We are giving 120 reasons why not you can associate with him. Our absorption in chanting, absorption in Mangalarti, absorption in Kirtan, absorption in Satsang. How much are you absorbed in Satsang? How much important is Satsang? Not a single person messaged me saying, Prabhu, why we are not having Satsang last week? Not judging anyone. But I'm just saying, nobody else. Why we are not? Prabhu, why are you cancelling it? No. Maybe you already wanted to eat it, but that's, I'm just saying. But the eagerness to have Satsang. Really? Acha, ye varam leda? Saturday, Sunday available. Chalo. Now we have time to do whatever. You're getting a day off. What are you going to do? Right? One day, okay, let's go to a movie. Let's book the tickets in advance. No, actually, our children want to see. So send the children. Why are you going? No, they are too young. Stand outside the theater. Stand outside the hall. Sit in that area. The sofa area is given. Sit there. They'll come out. Right? So, in the name of children, in the name of family, in the name of this, in the name of that, how are we planning our days and time? Everything matters. You think you can cheat Krishna? Anybody here? We can't cheat Krishna. We can never cheat Krishna. Don't even try to cheat Krishna. Krishna knows everything. Every single person sitting in this hall right now, Krishna knows what we are, what we are thinking, what we like, what we prefer, how we treat people, how we treat others, how much attraction we have towards the deities. You go to somebody else's house, oh, how attractive the deities are. Oh, wow. You go to your own house, same deities, no? Gaurnita is here also, Gaurnita is there also. You go to Mayapur, all tears are coming. You go to your home. What happened to the Gaurnita? What happened to Radha Krishna? They are the same. So what are you attracted to? The dress or the deity? What are you attracted to? Vrindavan is not a place, it's consciousness. Acharya explained. Mayapur is not a place, it's a consciousness. Where you carry, how you carry that consciousness matters. You can be in Hyderabad and you are much more attracted to Mayapur, much more attracted to Vrindavan. You are in Vrindavan. Who was telling this? What great sannyasi was saying. You are in Vrindavan, in Krishna Mandir, in front of the deities, with Kirtan Mandal going around you, and you are not in that place. It's very much possible. Very much possible. You are in front of the deities, Kirtan Mandal, everything is going on. You are there, but you are not there. You are completely not there. And you are in Hyderabad, away from everything, struggling, chanting, somehow going forward, and you are actually in Vrindavan, in Hyderabad. Because Vrindavan is a consciousness, right? Mayapur is a consciousness. So that's exactly what they told at the end of the yatra. The real yatra starts after the yatra, right? How are you going to carry this consciousness of Krishna into your life and go forward? Sorry, we didn't discuss more with that today. But it's more to prepare us for the upcoming events. We also have book marathon. So the day of when Radhesham Prabhu comes here, that day I'm also going to open auction, like we always do. Take your share, do your part, right? So encourage others. Let's do more books. Yesterday we had a marathon call. There is a call. Some of you I sent. Yeah, so I was there in that call. And Radhesham Prabhu started the call saying that when you boil water, he said, when you boil water, for a long time, you don't see any difference between cold water and hot water. You don't see any difference. Both of them look almost the same. After some time, bubbles start when the water is boiling. And within minutes after the bubble starts, the whole water will start boiling. Book distribution of Prabhupada is exactly like that. Placing the books in different parts of the world, different temples, different people, different houses, is like boiling water. But the day the bubbles will start, the whole world will become Krishna conscious. We are just preparing for that time. This is what we are going through right now is preparation time. So don't start thinking, I'll give you read or not. I will give what is the use. What is the point in doing? I myself am not reading. Why will he? That's false ego. When you say, I am not doing, others can't do. That's called false ego. So why do you think about all those things? Do your service. When Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Maharaj, when he told Prabhupada, Bhakti Swami, print books and distribute. Prabhupada didn't tell who will read. Did he say that? Who will read? No. Yes, Guru Maharaj. I will print books and distribute. And he did that. And there are thousands of devotees who have just come through book distribution. Just come by reading books of Prabhupada. Thousands of devotees. I personally have met so many devotees who read the entire Bhagavad Gita by themselves and they became devotee. Now they are attending satsang. Many of us here are attending satsang, made to read Bhagavad Gita. Now we are continuing. Many are reverse by order also. Right? Give the books. Distribute the books. Every planet Earth should be filled with Prabhupada books. Any house you go, there should be Prabhupada books. That is our goal. Any village you go, any town and city you go, fill it with Prabhupada books. The moment you see there is no Prabhupada books here, there is an opportunity. Right? Like we are distributing in villages. Last year we could not go, many reasons. But somehow still we distributed. Books finally reached some homes. This year again I'm planning. Let's distribute in villages. Let the whole world be flooded with Prabhupada books. They will read. Why do you think they will not read? Prabhupada told, even by touching my book, his spiritual life will start. Prabhupada was so strong and faithful that even by touching my book, his spiritual life will start. Somewhere it will start, don't worry. See, we are doing satsang in my own Krishi now. By Krishna's grace, some good number of people are coming. And when I told them to take Bhagavad Gita, they told we already have one. And I'm amazed. There are almost 30, 40 devotees. They never took Bhagavad Gita from me. They already had Bhagavad Gita in that place. How did the Bhagavad Gita go to that place? Tell me. Good distribution. And because the Bhagavad Gita was sitting there, and so many people came to me and they told, Prabhu, now we are feeling guilty that we have not opened the Bhagavad Gita for such a long time. And now when we are hearing the satsang, we are able to connect so nicely. But all this happened because of the mercy of the Bhagavad Gita which was sitting in their house. That's okay for Bhagavad Gita to sit in their house. Let it sit. Bhagavad Gita is not different from Krishna himself. Let the Bhagavad Gita sit there. You all are coming from villages. Distribute. What are you going to take back? Nothing. Count the population of your village. It's 26,000. 26,000 Bhagavad Gita. Prabhu, 20 is not too much. 2,600? 2,600. 260? Prabhuji, not this. 26. 2.6 is not there. I can't. Start somewhere. Make it a point. This village I have taken birth. In this village, I will give Bhagavad Gitas to all the people. I'll give it. I'll do my part. Like we are doing in temples now. We are installing Bhagavatam in so many temples. Let it go. Let it go. Let the revolution start. Revolution starts like this only, right? It looks small in the beginning. It slowly grows and grows and grows and grows and it flows. So this is how it starts. Let the Bhagavad Gitas go. And let me tell you, every single Bhagavad Gita that you have placed with your hard-earned money that Krishna has given, Krishna is going to reciprocate back. You might have forgotten how many Bhagavad Gitas you have distributed. But Krishna has not forgotten. He has full data science lab. He has full idea of what you have done in life. And he's going to reciprocate back in a big way. Not in a small way. Anyway, our reciprocation is, our expectation is not that okay, Krishna has to reciprocate, so I'm doing it. I will still do it. I will still do it because that's my duty. Right? Prabhuji, last year only we did not, Prabhuji. Every year you have to do. What is age, Prasad Prabhu? 46. When he's 86 also, same lecture will be attending. Or he'll be giving this lecture. That year also he has to do. Will you do? 40 years. 40 years from now is what? 2022, 2062. 2062. I don't know how the world will be. 2062. Right? I don't know. Scary, right? 2062, how the world will be. We will be doing book distribution. All of us will be doing book distribution, even when we are 62. Right? Even when we are 82, 94, 100 years. We are doing book distribution. We are serving Prabhupada. We are serving Prabhupada until we are alive. Until we are alive. Right? We will serve Prabhupada. Every year the same activity will happen. Every year will start with Gaur Purnima. It will start with Nityanandadashi. It will start with Janmashtami, Narshing Chaturdashi, Sharad Purnima, right? Govardhan Puja, Vishnu Panchak, huh? Gita Jayanti, Bhadra Purnima, Sri Ram Navami, right? Many more, come on. Prabhupada Appearance Day, Radhashtami, Gopashtami, Sharad Purnima, Narshing Chaturdashi, what is? Vamana Dwadashi, and very difficult 26 Ekadashis. Nirjal Ekadashi. Nirjal Ekadashi. What else? Every year they'll come. To Satya Davan Nirjal Ekadashi Ostanam. It will come. Every year it will come. Don't think this year it will not come. And if you are alive in the next 40 years, at least 10 Adhik Mas will see. Once in 4 years. 10 Adhik Mas. Oh, around 10 festivals, so many festivals are there. Bhakti Thakur Appearance Day, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Appearance Day, the disappearance days. Right? So Prabhupada gave so many festivals. There is no time, there is no gap. Kirtan Mela, Rath Yatra, Haribol. Jagannath Rath Yatra, are you ready for the next one? Yes, this time we'll have 3 Raths. Did anyone tell you? No. You don't know. One for Jagannath, one for Baldev, one for Suvan. You make it happen. Life should be fun. I mean, spiritual life should be exciting, isn't it? Let's do it. Rath Yatra happening in many communities. Parallelly, Rath Yatra is happening. And one ultimate Rath Yatra with all the Raths at one place. See, that is enthusiasm. You should do things. Excitement should be there. Tension should be there. Paise kidhar se launga? Oh, there. Don't worry. He will send it. Don't worry. Something will happen. Your boss will start looking at you very mercifully. After 12 years of service, I am giving you 1.5% increment. And that 1.5% belongs to constructing the brother. Anyway, so I'm saying so many festivals we have. Those people don't have any other festivals outside people. They're creating festivals. Halloween. Right? Every time you have a fight with your wife, look at each other's face. Another Halloween festival. Ghostly faces at each other. Right? We don't have to do Halloween festivals. Congratulations. We don't have to worship ghosts. We have come out of the useless culture of worshipping ghosts. We are worshipping Gaur Nitai. We are worshipping Jagannath. We are worshipping Radha Krishna. How are the Sharad Purnima festivals? So much water leaked under the altar. It started bulging out. We had to literally remove it. So many things happened afterwards. That time is not right. Water is not coming. Water was coming all the time. The whole altar was filled with water below, and the thing went down like this below. Krishna does all the time. Next day morning, the water was coming out a little outside. Then Radha was like, why is it coming? I'm wiping it, it's again and again coming. I said, some lake is inside. Some lake is created. Immediately we removed all the details, we pulled the whole thing out. We saw literally one lake there. Filled with water. Anyway, but that's fun, right? Was it nice? Yeah, we should have Sharad Purnima, even grander way next time. We should plan how the Sharad Purnima should be. This time it was on, I don't know, some people call it crocodile, some people call it lotus. Whatever came out from the thermocol, I don't know. Kalia, Agasura, Krishna, so many names. It was meant to be lotus. But next year, what is the theme? Just imagine Radha Krishna in a boat, and under the boat there is all water, and water is flowing down, and there is beautiful moon, there are gopis, and there is And I'm hoping that it will be in Praveen Prabhu's house, new house, in a grand way. Let us see. But there should be such festivals in all our houses. At one point, it should be in all our houses, not at one place. It should be that we should take a hall and one full day we are only decorating. And the curtains will open in the evening. Right? With all decoration done inside. Radha and Krishna. And Nitya Leela going on. Nitya Leela. Right? Non-stop Leela going on. I'll stop here. So, any questions on future programs? So, please make yourself available. Yes, Hare Krishna. So His Holiness Harivilas Maharaj is also coming to our Gachibowli Satsang for 3 days. He is coming. So again, one very exalted Grahastha and initiating spiritual master in ISKCON society, and he has developed practically the entire Seattle congregation, one of the biggest congregations of ISKCON. And he is very merciful on Suma Mataji and Praveen Prabhu. Through them, he wants to give darshan to all of us. So 3 days Maharaj is here, 7th, 8th, 9th of February. I don't know, it's Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it doesn't matter.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Sunday.
Yeah. So how much of your time we can take? See, I'll tell you the least thing we can do. What we used to do sometimes when we get devotees, senior devotees like that, every day morning we'll go to that place and chant. We can have 3 Mangalartis. It doesn't disturb your office schedule. Get up in the morning, go to that place, have Mangalarti. If not at 4:30, at least at 6 o'clock. Have the Mangalarti, sit down, finish your 16 rounds. Attend a Bhagavatam class, even if it's a short Bhagavatam class, half an hour, 45 minutes. So morning program is done with the great sannyasi, right? That is done. Afternoon, they will also need some rest. They will want to go to other places. Every evening, those 3 days, just block your calendar, saying that 6 o'clock I'm not there. 6 to 9, I'm not there. At least 1 out of the 3 or all the 3. And come to the same place or whichever place the satsang is happening and attend the satsang those evenings. And take the association of the senior devotees. What they will do, they will give us the extra horsepower to go forward in our spiritual life. That's what this great devotees do. And don't think it is planned by Harivilas Maharaj. Krishna is planning it and sending him here. Because he wants us to speak. He wants him to speak to us on some things. He was so young. I remember when. Literally. He is the youngest person who heard SSR. 5-6 months old, right? Yeah. 2018. Huh? He came for all 12 sessions. Yes. Everybody. Mata used to come. And Mataji attended anger management class in this hall only. Right? Yes. From there she started coming. Even Shilpa Mataji also attended anger management here. Is anger managed or? So we do all, so nothing goes waste. There is no second that goes waste, no effort that goes waste. Right? So keep preaching wherever you are there. We have to start many more batches, which I'm still waiting. A lot of people are settling down still. Shipura Prabhu is active. Santosh Shaiti Prabhu is active. Actively, batches going on. Some of them have taken a halt in between. Youth preaching is still going on, that's okay. But you have to start programs in your houses. Krishna has given that house to hold a program, not to renovate and put a extra cozy sofa set. No, it is given for doing programs. Every single house. You should do your part. You should do your part. I went to Haripriya Mataji's house recently. They had a Radha Krishna deities. So beautifully, Mataji is conducting satsang for Mataji in that area, in her house, right? So whatever little you can do. Don't say that, oh, I cannot do, what do I know? You already know a lot of things. You have a lot of information. Right? So please start sharing it to others. Conduct small satsangs, small get together. Actually, the smaller the satsang, the more sweeter it is. I always feel those beginning satsangs were the best satsangs in our life. When it was 4 families, 5 families, you're sitting down and sharing, caring, and when they're speaking, so nice, right? And somehow, remember Mataji? Poonam Mataji was there in the beginning, right? How many were we? Right? 12 people, 12, 13, right? Bus, nice. Huh? Srinilayan. Yeah. So please start those satsang. My only request, please start satsang. Please start planning for it. Every year you should start a new batch, continue the old batch. So there is a service, there is you're sharing, and at the same time you are giving. You are also learning. Let it both happen. Hare Krishna. So please be available for the next 2, and also Mridangam classes, Provision Mataji's. Please take it seriously. I don't know how many of you have heard Tarakrishna Prabhu today. Right? Take it seriously. Mridangam is not a choice, it's a service. Make it nice. Do it with passion and learn it properly. Learn it properly. Don't do half cooked, It should be like there is a program, Prabhu, you are immediately pick up the Mridangam and start playing it and doing the kirtan. That's the way it should be. It should not be like nobody else is doing, then only I do. Or I don't know. I'll ask him to even put another kick in other, like, I don't know, one beat. I don't know. That also will be me. I can't. Kick in other, I don't know, I can't. Let it be one more beat. But do that. Let's do Mridangam. Please take it seriously. See, can there be better opportunity than this? No. No one matter. Can there be better? No, Prabhuji. Why don't you say, no. Every day, 15 minutes, you have to give it to Mridangam practice. 15 minutes. Do that in your homes, wherever, morning, evening, afternoon, after you come from office. Last week I didn't do, but before that, I'm telling you my own example. I'm also struggling, but I'm doing that. When I did that 15 minutes, the next my confidence in coming with the front of Prabhuji was so nice. Today it was like completely, the kick in it also, I didn't do the second way. I only did the first way. I have to do the second way. Now I have homework of this. So we have to spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but do it. And one thing I'm really enjoying is doing it with my children. Me, Partha, we all sit in the front room. Kick in a dog, thin. Military one. Neighbor will be like thin. It's fun. Let's do it. It's a good family activity. I'm seeing children are picking up so nicely. Now don't start saying, probably pillar no, you should also learn along with the children. Okay, so please take it up seriously. We should not be a failure. Everything we have done here, we have achieved it. Even Bhakti Shastri, even what happened to certificates?
They're coming. I can't remember. They're very tight. People can see.
We should send somebody to Pune.
Next time we go to Vrindavan, we should sing. We should use Kirtan in front of Radha.
Hare Krishna. So beautiful, right? Do you know who is Radharaman? Every morning I send one picture of Radharaman. One devotee is mercifully sending to me. 4:30 he sends to me. 4:30. Literally, it's like 29, 50 seconds, 29, 59, 30. It comes. Literally sends on time. He sent the Prabhupada code and Radharaman's picture. I always wanted to see Radharaman many times. Krishna fulfilled the desire. Just come. I never told the devotee to send me. He is sending me. And I'm sending it to everyone. That deity of Radharaman, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami said, is the perfect, complete darshan of Krishna. Krishna is exactly like that in the spiritual world. If you have a vision and love to see him, that Radharaman deity is your darshan of Krishna. Because it is told Radha Madan Mohan's legs are exactly like Krishna's legs in the spiritual world. Radha Gopinath's chest is exactly like Krishna's chest in the spiritual world. Radha Govinda's face is exactly like the spiritual world, Krishna. And all the three deities together is Radha Raman, complete darshan of Krishna in one single deity, which was worshipped by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So unbelievable, darshan. This time it was astonishing that, when we were going to a temple, I got a call from one Prabhuji, Venugopal Prabhu. Then he said, Prabhu, you want to have, you come to, we were going to Radha Govinda temple. He said, Prabhu, you come to Radha Raman. He said, why? You come, Prabhu, you come. I'll tell you why. So immediately diverted the auto. We went to Radha Raman temple. We sat there and Prabhuji said, Prabhuji, today we are going to have Raj Bhoga of Radha Raman. He said, what? Raj Bhoga of Radha Raman? It's unbelievably special because that is exactly the book that is offered to the Supreme Lord and they bring it back and they serve to the devotees. Oh, but they will not allow. It's like we are not directly connected to them. Only sannyasis get that opportunity. Going into the backwaters, where is the backside house. Radharaman temple is like this. Behind there is a house. In the whole adjacent, there is a kitchen. In the kitchen, the fire was lit by Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And even now the same fire is burning. Same fire, it never went down. So he's maintained the whole parampara just with that fire. The parampara is continuing. The same fire is still making bhoga for Radharaman. Just imagine getting something of that fire. The same, it's like as good as Gopal Bhatta Goswami is cooking and getting it. And we were totally shocked and do we really deserve it? No, whatever. But greedy to have. Yes, I want to have it. So we sat down and I can't tell others also because he only got some slots. Then he can't give to many more. Maybe it will happen some other time. He said, Prabhu, don't tell anyone, you just stay. It's a greedy situation, yet it's a very uncomfortable situation. Why are not other devotees having it? What to do? Should I have it? Should I call? No, just sit down there and chant. And in Radharaman, there is special bhajans that happen. Very special bhajans of Radharaman. Actually, you should go sit down and get absorbed in a temple. Instead of running to 20 temples, just sit down and be there. And that's exactly what happened. And they said, now Radharaman Aarti will happen. So 12:30 they closed the altar. And they told the Aarti will happen in some time. So I thought it's 1 o'clock. So this time I said, okay, I'll stick to the front wall, which almost comes till here. And I'll stay there until the altar opens. 12:45 it didn't open, 12:50 it didn't open, 1 o'clock it didn't open. I said 1 o'clock is supposed to be the Aarti. 1:05, 1:10, 1:30 it did not open. 1 hour, everybody is standing, legs are stretching, people are sweating, but nobody is moving. And I can see Mataji's one. Mataji was like maybe 5'2" or 5'3". For her, like literally the rock was like this. Half her I can see, half her I can't see. On her toes, that's all she can see. And she was eagerly waiting for Radharaman. And then the altar opened. And then Radharaman was worshipped, the Aarti happened, big lamps, you've seen the wicks, this long wicks of ghee. They lit it and the Aarti happened. And then I asked, so this long it took. So they told Radharaman is having his lunch. Every day has his lunch. So that's okay, but at our place we keep bhoga for 15 minutes. Or sometimes according to our preference. Right? They told there is a dining room for Radharaman. The deity worship is so personal. So there is altar room and there is a dining room. So they literally take the deity into the dining room. And he has this garam chapatis and khadi and dal and my God, what was that? My wife was there. Huh? Bangan ki sabzi bhi tha.
I saw the photo.
You saw the photo. You are absorbed in that photo. No, the best part was not the photo. The sweet. Kheer. Kheer. I think some kind of kheer.
Mitti ki.
No, not mitti kheer. This was proper kheer given. And they were literally pouring, drink more. As we Prabhuji say, Jaga nahi ho. Pio. Like itna dalte yaar the kheer. The kheer was so nice. Pure desi guy made it, offered to Radha Raman, and they're being served. So the problem is, we can't go and ask next time. I can't go and last time I had, can you allow me inside? Get lost then. It can only happen through mercy, only through some special mercy that they will allow you to go into the quarters. And inside only we were hardly 7-8 people. And they served all of us, and we had that. That was an unbelievable experience in this yatra. Yeah. Highest. Yeah. The Glorious Prabhu is saying, actually Prabhupada told that the highest deity standards are there in Radharaman temple. Deity worship standards. Highest. What does it mean by deity worship standards? Personal. Very personal to the needs of the Supreme Lord. Very personal. What is wearing? See, there was no Radharani when Radharaman deity appeared. They immediately create Radharani every day. They fold a cloth and they show it like with the flowers. They create Radharani, Radha Raman. How can Raman be there without Radha? Right? So they create that. And you believe it.
Mother shared a document.
Yeah. Oh, there is a lot more detail. So, yatras are important. Right? Hare Krishna. Namaste Narasimha. भक्त विघ्नाश नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह स्वामी भगवान की जय। विष्णुपाद प्रमुख आचार्य स्तोत्र भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। विष्णुपाद प्रमुख आचार्य स्तोत्र भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। वृंदावन गोस्वामी की जय। प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। ओम श्री राधा कृष्णा गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। पुण्य क्षेत्र वृंदावन धाम की जय। गंगे माई की जय। यमुने माई की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। कलिलो पावन तुलसी महारानी की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ट्रांसजेंडर बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। ट्रांसजेंडर प्रसारण डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंद जय। All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasinsobhyevachcha patitana bhavadivya Vaishnavibhya Namah. And the devotee Vaishnava is the key. Very good. So today morning, funny thing happened. So we did a satsang, and in the morning after we did Narshing Arti. So one devotee asked, so why do we do Narshing Arti? They said from protecting us from obstacles in devotion. What kind of obstacles will get in devotion? So I don't know why I got that thought. I told him from your relatives who come every Sunday morning. So Narshing Dev is protecting you from your relatives or friends, whoever comes on Sunday morning. He's like, Prabhu, I made sure that nobody will come on Sunday morning. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let's have Prashad.